It's Monday. Woo! Today we got the Junk crew here to shoot some content for them. I'm really excited. They're all good people, so it's fun to hang out with. Yeah, let's get it. So I get the question all the time, how do you get sponsored? How do you start? How do you pick up a brand to let you carry their stuff or wear their stuff? And I'm gonna explain that a little bit later, but I wanted to ask the SVP of Junk right here how they look for athletes and what they're looking for when they're scouring Instagram or going through messages of people like, sponsor me, please sponsor me. So yeah, I just wanted to ask Sean what they look for.
Yeah, so for us, it's a lot of quality followers and quality engagement. So it's kind of run the gamut with people that we've worked with, influencers, athletes. We've had people who have really high numbers of followers, but that doesn't always result into quality content. And so what we try to do is look at how that influencer or athlete engages with their base and how focused that base is with that athlete. And so Evan, for instance, back in 2016 was one of our kind of really big pushes into branching or partnering with someone in like a social media space. Yeah. And so for us,
outside of athletes,
like traditional sports. And so for us, we saw, and I say we, me and Bo was one of the founders of Junk Brands. We really saw instantly that Evan's base was just all about Evan, right? They were posting and commenting and just looking, for what Evan was doing and what she was eating and clothes she was wearing and all these things. And so for us, it was really a no-brainer just to look at prior posts before, and then when we were looking at her kind of in the middle of the contract procedures. So for us, taking a step back from Evan, it's just really the quality of your base, right? Did you build your base like organically? And
did you buy your base?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Because
we've seen that. We've seen
hundreds of thousands of followers
coming in from overseas,
with 200
right?
likes.
International IPs, all from like an India category or overseas. And so when we see that traffic come to our site, it doesn't always transition into sales. And for us, it's not always about the sales, right? So for me and my team, we talk about this qualitative box and quantitative box. Obviously, sales are what keeps the lights on for a business, but there's also this qualitative nature of like, what is the athlete's attitude, right? What is, like, how can we collaborate? Where do we find that intersection where there's synergy? So it's not always just dollars and cents for us. We really want to partner, and we love to have long-term relationships. And for Evan, it's almost 4 years now.
4 years, that's crazy.
Which has been awesome. And so,
and it's, I think, one of the biggest thing for me, and I know it is for you guys as well, because I know you guys, is just being organic. Like, I think it's important to say that Junk never reached out to me and was like, please, let us send you bands. I actually ordered their headbands first. We looked at the order the first year I was up there for a photo shoot, and I'd ordered the Delta headband and 3 other ones and started wearing them. Wasn't sponsoring them. I had a good following them, but wasn't shouting out whatever. I'd say where I got it from. And then Junk reached out, or Bo reached out and was like, hey, can we send you a few headbands? We've noticed a little pop in sales or whatever. And at that time, they were not really, you guys, I think you had some athletes, legit athletes that competed. But I was like, man, I think I could help you out. I get hundreds of messages a day about where'd you get the headband? I wanted the headband. Yeah. So I kind of convinced Bo, hey, if I reach this amount of sales for you, because I know I love it, so I know that my followers would love it. If I reach this number, can I get a discount code for him? And then he was like, all right, that seems fair. Nothing on the table for him. And I think I reached that number in an hour. Yeah. I posted the discount code, reached an hour. So I was the first social media person. I don't, influencer is tainted for me now, but and it all came from an organic relationship of me actually enjoying the headband. There's so many times people have reached out to me before hey, can you get me hooked up with this? Hey, can you get me hooked up with this? And I'm like, you never even tried it. How do you know if you're gonna like it or not? And I think that companies can see through that. Nobody's gonna, as a company, my company, I would never, bring someone on who's just never tried the product, or just because they had a following. So do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, so for us too, it's just, we've seen accounts, right? We've all seen it. We follow people, we follow celebrities where it feels very transactional. Every post is buy,
Yep.
swipe up, click the link, here's my tracking, all of this. And it doesn't feel like that person who owns the account really, do they really like the product? Do they really love it as a necessity? Is it really something they can't go without in their day-to-day? And so again, it comes down to the organic nature of building your base. Is it a product that you've tried, that you've vetted? Because when you're about to put that out there to your base, you got to stand behind it, right?
Yeah.
So if you make a statement like, go and buy this, cell phone case, swipe up, I get 20% of the sale, and then it's never on my phone, and your fans, your followers start to see that, and they're wondering why, like, you just told me to go buy this really expensive phone case, but you're not wearing it.
I feel like, I've said this before, and this is kind of off topic, but I feel like people's, for lack of better terms, like bullshit detector is really good, just because we all consume content, so you can tell when someone's like trying to make a quick buck, and that's just the truth. And I think that I particularly have been very, very, specific with who I partner with. Like, I've been with Junk for 4 years. There's a reason for that. I don't like hopping on with someone and then hopping off the train. I feel like anybody I put my name with, like, I want it to be long term. There's so many people out there. Like, what I guess for the sake of this conversation, don't be one of those people who are just trying to hop on a ship for 2 months, make the dollar, and then get out. Like, it's important to build a relationship and build your brand with the other brand, because it's again all organic. Like, it's all like, people can read that there's a relationship there and that you like the product, use the product every day. So yeah, I
think that's key right there. Is you tried the product, you use it, you develop an affinity for it, and then by the time you reach out to your base, like, you've done all the work for them. It's like, here's a no-brainer. If you need headbands, if you use headbands, if this is a problem, or whatever product it is, I've already tried it out. It's amazing. Oh, by the way, there's colors, whatever that fits your mood. Go buy now. Now there's that Evan stamp of approval, where you don't have to you're not the product testing. There's no ordering and waiting for it to come in and think, is this really going to work like they say it is? It's like, Evan's done it. She's tested it.
I love that I get to be the tester. It's fun for me to like try a product. Like right now, like, I'm on this like Greek yogurt and ranch dip thing, and like people send me messages all the time. Like, they're like, dude, this is amazing. I'm like, like I it's almost like sending someone a new song that they haven't listened to before. Like, this is cool. Like, I want to go to her for music now. Like, I want to be that for like products for people. Not a ton of products. I get approached literally every day. Hey, do this teeth whitener. Hey, we'll pay you $1,000 to post this. And I'm like, but I've never used that. And they're like, doesn't matter,
Just
like,
lie.
I'm really specific, and I feel like I can read people really well if they're being like truthful or not. But I know me with Junk and then other people with Junk, like you guys, I can tell that you really reach out to people who actually use the product. Like, they're in it every day, they're in it in their posts, and not because I think it's important. Like, Junk doesn't have, in my contract specifically, it's not like, hey, you have to post 3 times a week. Like, I don't do contracts like that because it's not organic for me. But for mine specifically, they let me just do what I want because I like the product so much, and it is that organic relationship of that. I know she's gonna post because she used the product, and that's what anything that I push. So. And
that's the whole. It's that organic nature where there's a lot of power when you have people that follow you, that trust you. And so when you vouch for a brand, you want that to actually stand, and you want people to second guess, because what that does is that hurts your following, that hurts your relationship with brands, because if you keep posting things that don't work and people start to not buy, then they're going to be less likely to buy future recommendations. And one story, because it made me think of it early on, was this is 2016. So Snapchat was obviously on the rise, right? Everyone was on it as before stories had kicked in, and this is a testament to kind of the building an organic base and a good base of quality followers. I was looking. We have Google Analytics, and so we're watching where things come in throughout the day. And I remember it was around lunch, we just got this massive spike of people to the site, and I just could not figure out where it was from. And I was just scratching my head, and Bo was out of the office, so I called him. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but there's so many people coming to the site. And we were just thinking through, and I was like, okay, we're talking to Evan. And I was like, maybe she did a Snapchat. And I looked, and you had done a Snapchat, and back then there's no tracking, right? It's just directly to the site. And so again, like, you're not going to see those results, or a brand's not going to see that result if they're partnering with people who are just peddling products every single day. If you find the right person, which we did with Evan, and they build a strong base, then that brand's going to feel it instantly, right? And so now, for us, we have sort of a gold standard in Evan, and we kind of whisper it throughout the office, where we're like, okay, like, if we sign someone new and we're going to do X with them, Evan's already set the bar for like what is phenomenal. So if people come in below, we're like, okay, well, that's not an Evan, right? And so
I don't think that I'm like the guru of it by any means, but I think it really boils down to just being honest and like just being very like transparent.
Yeah.
Like I think that is what, not that that's like a marketing scheme by any means, because anything I say that I, you know, am with, like I truly like the product. And maybe like maybe there's a slip of like I thought I liked the product for 3 months and then it started breaking or something, like little stuff like that. But for the majority of I think I have like 3 sponsors, but all of them like I literally use every single day, and I wouldn't push them if I didn't use them. And I think that's like you guys know that from following me on Instagram and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I guess this is a good way to say how to get sponsored. You don't have to have a huge following. You just have to have a, you know, some kind of influence on your followers. People have to trust you. Like that's huge. Building trust with your followers is huge. It doesn't matter if it's 100 followers. It doesn't matter if it's 100,000 followers. Those people saying like that person tried it and I trust that person because of what she or he has done in the past or shown me in the past. And I think that that's everything. Just honest transparency, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I agree.
The man. You're looking at my designs. I did these today. Photoshop, self-taught. I know people are gonna ask me, how did you design these? Literally, it comes from like my brain. Like I don't know how else to put it. I'm completely self-taught with Photoshop. So I really just take designs that either I've come up with or I have some like designers that I work with that do some like really cool graphics with me. I can't believe, I think Dave Bail, I think that's his name. He helped me with this, and he's done a couple in my past. He did this. I did this. It's just like simple logos and stuff, but yeah, so pretty much I just like think of something in like colors I want, and then I'll like put it on paper, and yeah, so that's it. Which one do you like better? You like the ones with the colored strings or like solid color?
I like solid.
Yeah. I like both, so I'm a very visual person, so what I'll do a lot of times is I'll just take these two. There's not a lot of differences, you see like black here and white here, and I'll just hang it up in my office, and I'll literally like stare at it for like 6 days, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, I'm super indecisive, but this is what I was working on today. But I wanted to go over what we ended off with yesterday, because we kind of, me and Sean, really got off on a tangent about getting sponsored. I know that's like the title of this video, how do you get sponsored? So I just kind of wanted to put everything into one place for you. I know it was like kind of a long little conversation to follow. So here's the main points, here's the main takeaways. As being a business owner, but also being a sponsored athlete, I feel like I have pretty good insight into how to get sponsored. So the main points for me are, it has to be an organic partnership. The partnership has to make sense. Like BPN made sense. Like I really enjoyed their products. I like their products. I take supplements every day. Yeah, Junk made sense. Like we said in the conversation yesterday, I was wearing their headbands before I was even sponsored. What's another, like a dream sponsorship for me would be like, probably like Vans. Like Vans would be so sick, like to just but people know that I wear Vans, and I literally spend a bunch of money on Vans every year. Yeah, so that would probably be the number one thing, is just organic partnerships. Got to make sense. 2, like you have to prove that you're valuable in some way to the business, whether that be your following, like, you know, your platform, or your engagement with your following, or you providing quality content. Like I can tell you right now, like if someone approached me wanted to be sponsored by Alpha Forward, and we don't do any sponsorships right now, but if someone came to me and I went to their page, like they DM'd me, I went to their page and they had like really good quality content, even if they had like 300 followers, I'd be like, okay, like this person can provide me value because they have high quality content that I can use, and like we could partner up some way that way. Yeah, so that would be another one. Prove your value. And I think I went over that yesterday with him, of when we first linked up, I was like, hey, like let me show you that I can produce sales for you. And that was another reason. Number 3 would be like tag the shit out of posts. Like what's the harm in like using a product they use every single day and you tagging them, right? Or DMing them, like reach out, tag, like show them that you use the product. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's like off the top of my head, those are the big 3 for me. But yeah, I think we're gonna hit a workout now, hopefully, if Justin's not gonna be a wussy boy. And yeah, we're gonna crush it. So let's get it. The ways that we ignore the fight. We need a miracle. So I'm gonna work up to a heavy single today. I've never maxed out in this gym. I maxed out in my old gym at 355, I think. So I'm excited to at least test the limits today. Yeah, 355 sounds good. So anytime you're going heavier, you want to start having some acclimation sets. It doesn't make sense to do like sets of 8, like 4 sets of 8 before you try for a heavy one. It makes a lot more sense to just I do like start with a triple, then a double, then just start working your way up to like ones. For example, 225, before this I did for 3. Now I'm gonna do 275 for either 1 or 2, and then I'll do 315 for 1, and then I'll probably like just go for it. So we'll see how it goes. I did 355 and it felt surprisingly easy. I say surprisingly, but I've been working at it hard deadlifting for the past like 2 months, I guess. Anyway, numbers are going up and I'm feeling good, so I'm gonna shoot for the stars right now and try 375, which is 25 pounds over any PR I've ever hit with deadlift. So I'm feeling good. Let's get it. Now I'm moving. We don't care when you got up next. We don't care, we are just the same. We ignore the waves and we ignore the fire. We need a miracle. We need a miracle. I still gotta do cardio, but we're gonna close out this video first. And okay, first off, check out these shorts. Just a little plug really quick. Some Alpha Ford shorts. These are next to last prototype. There's a phone pocket here, there's a phone pocket here, there's a phone pocket here, there's pockets everywhere, man. These are the coolest shorts I've literally ever owned, let alone made. Anyway, I hope this video was of value to you. This is where YouTube is like great because I got to like literally vlog me hitting a PR, like a lifetime PR. I've never hit 375 on a deadlift, so it's really awesome that I got it on video and I can put it into a YouTube video to look back on later in my life. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, let me know how I can be of value to you guys, and yeah, thanks for watching.